Welcome back to the Platform Skate Podcast, episode number 11.
Johnny Long in the house.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, driving out from Niverville to come hang out with us. This is awesome.
It's good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, for those of you listening that don't know, Johnny is a longtime friend. He's a Western boy that came out here. We're not sure why, but maybe we'll find out today why you chose Manitoba over the West Coast.
Yeah, that's a conundrum right there.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, we know you've got some good reasons for it, and so we'll get into that. Yeah, Johnny runs Elevate Skateshop, which is just gone online recently, which is awesome. Yeah, we'll hear a little bit about that, and excited also to hear about different collabs and stuff that are really exciting. And so let's start. Maybe let's go back to the West Coast and where it all began.
Let's go back.
You're ready to go back, aren't you?
I'm ready. Yeah, I grew up skating in just outside of Vancouver in Abbotsford, BC. And started when I was like 11 or 12. But yeah, just being in such a skate hub of Canada, I was just being so close to Vancouver, seeing pros pretty regularly, and just where the level and skill was at, it was just skateboarding all the time. Yeah. And we got very minimal snow, so
Right. Your season is way longer.
way longer. You got to deal with a lot of rain.
Okay.
Yeah, one time I couldn't skate outside for 40 days just because it was actually raining.
Wow.
40 days and 40 nights of rain.
Oh, wow.
But that's about as bad as it gets.
Wow.
So you built an ark instead?
I built an ark and I just sailed over to Manitoba. That's right. Pretty much.
Nice. So talk about the scene that you grew up in out there. Like you talked, that you saw lots of pros and stuff, and I've met some of your homies from out there, and it's such a good vibe in your area there.
Yeah, when I started going to the park and just getting connected with just amazing skaters that now became great friends of mine, I still talk to this day, and just to be around that skate scene. Abbotsford's a bit removed from Vancouver, but you're still close enough that you know of everyone. They may not know you, but you're around the people that know them. Everyone's kind of connected. But just the level of because you can skate all year round, the mags are pretty centrally focused in Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto predominantly.
Yeah.
There's just the level and progression was just always going nuts. Everyone's trying to make it somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was just good vibes, and Abbotsford Skate Park was when it was built, it was popping off because the flow is really good there. Now it's pretty rough from all the rain, but
really?
It's pretty rough now, but it's still good. Every time I go back, I always have a good time with the homies, and there's so many parks in Vancouver area. Seriously, growing up, I could 50-kilometer radius, probably go to 30 parks or something crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's so many parks. Yeah.
It's kind of like our 50-kilometer radius here, eh?
I think we have two parks within our 50.
Yeah. One that actually counts as a park.
Yeah. It's not even in our own town.
No.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it was just lots of skating, and I just fell in love with it at a young age, and then I just stopped doing everything else but skating. That's all I ever did since I was 12, 13, and I dropped out of I used to play soccer and baseball when I was even younger, but probably played soccer till I was 14 or something.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Played for 10 years, and they wanted me to try out for all these rep leagues and do extra practices and games every week, and I'm like, dude, I'm already trying to dip on these practices like as it is with one a week, and I'll like leave my practices early, say that I had like a doctor's appointment, and then I'd just go skate the park. That was like right next to the field, and like my team would be seeing me skating, so they're like not too stoked on me. But then I like pulled my weight at the game, so I just clearly had better places to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That reminds me of when the local high school, I think we talked about it with Colin about being on the football team, and they'd be out practicing and we'd be skating the school parking lot, hitting the manual pads and stuff, and they'd hit Colin and some of the other guys would be out on the field at football practice, just bummed that they're not skating with us instead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like nonstop progression, like all year round, because it doesn't really stop. We skate a lot of parkades in the winter out there. Like we would just like lug ledges and rails to like superstore parking lots and in the little P corner where everyone would go, and like like it's a scene in the winter in parkades, but you keep it going all year round. And
Yeah.
What kind of temperatures are out there?
the worst I ever experienced when I was younger was like -10.
Wow.
And I almost and then like the world stops out there. Yeah. I mean, and like we talk about BC, we usually talk about like Vancouver area, which like doesn't really get that cold. You get like a couple hours more inland, and then you can start getting winters.
Right.
Up north a little bit more, but yeah, Vancouver, you're pretty blessed growing up there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so I definitely count myself blessed, and yeah, that just like helped me fall in love with skating. Is I could do it all year round, and I had some good guys surrounding me, and some of my best homies were skaters, and we just like skated all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I met some of the guys from the Abbotsford crew there. I think the first time I met them would have been when I joined them for Road Rage, and that was a blast. Those are really good guys.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, it's good dudes. We we skate hard, and we just like to have lots of fun too. Like it's always good vibes, and we're never really anywhere we don't want to be. So we're always like skating and having fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then somehow you ended up here. What does that mean? What does that look like?
Yeah. So I did my thing out in BC and graduated. It's a good thing to do, kids. But yeah, once I did that, and then I spent a little bit of time up in Yellowknife actually.
Okay.
For my second time, I went up for like a whole summer.
Okay.
First time went up with Skate Life just for a week. Did a little thing, met some guys that I then became good friends with, and then went back up the next year for a whole summer and spent some time in Yellowknife.
What were you doing up there?
I didn't really do anything that summer. We just kind of bummed around in my buddy's trailer. But just skated a lot, and then did Road Rage with them. And, And just like they have like a little like a skate night thing going on up there, and I helped with that, and we did lots of skating. And there's not a ton of spots, there's a few, but you can skate all night, so you can you can go out like filming in the streets till like 2 a.m.
Right.
So
doesn't get dark there.
Doesn't get dark.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick. Yeah.
So were there parks there, or was it all street?
They got a very tetanus filled park there. Yeah, it's pretty. Like yours here would probably be better.
Oh wow,
maybe. Maybe.
That's debatable.
It's quite something. But some of the streets is really cool, and it's just like again the vibes of there. Everyone's super mellow. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, then spent the summer up there, and then moved out to Winnipeg to do this year of internship at the Edge Skate Park.
Right.
And spent 8 months doing that, and got to skate the old Edge when it was a thing. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Were you living in a skate house then too?
I was, yeah. The Edge had its own little skate house right in like the Corden area of Winnipeg.
That must have been fun.
Oh man, those are good times. Yeah, it was just a like Winnipeg like Wolseley-ish house, and just like very tall, and like we had a dungeon in the basement basically, and yeah, just the boys skate. We just skated all the time, and we'd just go skate the edge whenever, like, and film at night, and like we were just again always skating with that. It was just like a steady diet of skating and pizza pops, I think. Yeah, we did some constructive stuff that year, but and the reason I moved back too is I met my now wife halfway through that, and finished my year with the Edge School, and then was still dating my wife, and I had the dilemma to move back to Vancouver area and do skate stuff out there, like work with Skate Life or just do skateboard ministry type stuff.
Yeah.
Or just come to Winnipeg and pursue love, and with no real plan. And I was like, well, I'm young. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I'm young. So
yeah, exactly.
Take a shot, and it worked out. So there we go. Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a wing and a prayer moving out, and worked some jobs that were not good when I moved out. Like did Christmas lights, and that was crazy, and did like a bunch of random little jobs.
Okay. Christmas lights.
I know. Christmas lights in like September. But like I'd like drive around Winnipeg. This is gonna make me sound crazy, but I'd drive around Winnipeg with this company and in like an old milk truck with like no door, but also didn't have a seatbelt. I don't know how this thing was legal, but I was the only one that had a license. And I would drive around Winnipeg. I got to know the city real good, so that was like really sick, because then it translated to skating and finding spots and stuff. But I would drive around Winnipeg in like a milk truck with no door, no seatbelt, and just like dropping dudes off to go bring Christmas lights.
What do you mean? Sorry, I'm not understanding what the Christmas light thing is. Like,
it's like a job, like people like paying you to like put Christmas lights on their house.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was crazy. I like found it on Kijiji. I only worked it a couple of days. I'm like, this thing's not for me. I'm gonna find something else.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but I just needed to make money when I came out. Like I was just trying to get a place, just rent, and just like be close to my girl at the time, and still my same girl, but girlfriend, and just be skating and just be around. But I had to make ends meet when I moved out, and it got easier, but it wasn't the easiest thing from the start.
No, it doesn't sound like
kidding.
No, but yeah, then that's when I came out like again, and then stayed a year here. That's when the Edge got their new park, and to spend some time there. And then after a year, me and my now wife moved back out to BC. Spent another year. This was all before the shop or anything like that, and the shop was just a twinkle in my eye.
Yeah,
and spent a year out there, and then I did like Abbotsford Skate Life, and that's the year I think I got to know. Shout out to our homies Matt and Mitch, the guys you're talking about.
So you didn't grow up with those guys?
I didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I really only got to know them that year. And I think they started skating shortly before that. But so I've been in it for like a long time before they have.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's interesting. And are they Chilliwack?
They're Chilliwack, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that might explain some of it too.
It's close enough to Abbey. Like they're pretty lumped in with Abbey.
Okay.
Sometimes, but yeah. Yeah, and then after that year we moved back and moved into, figured Niverville wasn't so bad. I had like a loose connection with a couple of the guys there, or knew of Niverville, or didn't, but not too much. And I just kind of cold called them there, and I was like, hey, I know you guys got this like room in the back. I think I can probably get like a skate program going there. You guys want to hire me? And like, as crazy as that sounds right now, that's basically what I said. And they were crazy enough to hire me, and
wow,
it hasn't blown up in their face yet. So
just the confidence,
I guess.
Yeah. So is your wife from that area, or why did you choose Niverville?
She's from St. Pierre.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. But no, I had a little bit of experience with Niverville, and I just like being a little bit away from the hustle and bustle of the city.
Okay.
Niverville's so close that like you can just whip into like St. Patel area in like 25, 30 minutes. And yeah. I still tell people basically I'm like Winnipeg. because it's
Right.
You say that you're like, oh, I'm
It's
from
like a suburb.
Niverville, and they're like, where? I'm like Winnipeg. And they're, okay,
Yeah.
Suburb.
yeah, close enough. Yeah, but no, it's good, and we've been blessed to be there and close enough to her family in St. Pierre, and still close enough to like not just be cooped up
Right.
in the middle of nowhere, and you can still go skate and do fun things.
And it was the park right outside the door of the YFC that drew you in, eh?
Yeah, we'll have the park out front, and then it's so good. It's so good. There's a couple things that are pretty good there.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, we shouldn't be bugging you.
You guys would be stoked.
With ours,
yeah.
I'd take that over what we got.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the ledge is good there. The quarter pipes are good.
Yeah,
that's about it. The fun box is kind of okay, but hips are good.
Yeah,
it's Barkman.
It's Barkman. It's older Barkman. It's older Barkman. That was before we had Landmark, and I couldn't do this without talking about Landmark. But
yeah,
everyone's expecting, all my skate homies are expecting me to talk about that. But
for sure,
that was before any of the like good parks in the area. Now, like within another like 50 kilometers of where I am now, there's a good couple, like half dozen, good parks that I would enjoy skating.
Yeah, for sure. But when you moved there, they weren't there yet.
No. None really. Just our park outside.
Yeah. So was there a scene when you arrived?
There was a little bit. I knew of a few guys and some of the core guys that I sponsor with the shop now. We're just starting back then, but back then it was funny. Our the skill gap between us was like quite a bit because they were all learning. Yeah. And I was like, I'd probably been skating for a good 10 years at that point or something. Yeah. And then they similar to my situation growing up in Abbotsford and just being around, if you're just around people that are better at skating than you, you will get better and really, really quick. Yeah. And so I've like, there would be tricks I would teach them, and then I just forget how to do it, and they don't. And then they just get me letters and skate because I taught them how to do tricks that I shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because with the ebb and flow of the scene here in Portage, I've seen that as well, like where there's times where it's just like the scene is not real healthy and the guys coming up, the progression is really slow. Yeah. And then other times where there's a really healthy scene and kids coming up, just they just progress so fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we're seeing with like social media and parts being dropped. Like we probably just missed like 5 parts being dropped. Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of pros and cons with it. But the kids know where the bar is at. So like those things that were like when you're young and like not popping your shoves is like not really okay. Yeah, like because everyone like they just know where the bar's at. So
yeah. Like so when you were starting out, it was like obviously it wasn't like that. You were waiting for the latest video to come out, and then you're like have that on repeat for a while before the next one comes.
Yeah, no, I was always I still actually collect DVDs. I got a couple VHSs, like got a couple, but the only one I can think of right now is like I got the Muska issue 411, issue number 50. Or 51 or something. It's just got like it's a Muska issue, and I'm a Muska dude, so I love that. But yeah, I was always waiting for like the newest DVDs because that's all it was. This was probably before YouTube was even a thing. So
for sure,
that was like that's all it was the DVDs, and I was all like I used to have long hair down to like my chest, like crazy, and like bandana. I was full on like Guns N' Roses looking dude. So I was very like Zero. Like Zero was like my thing growing up, and Zero Fallen. I remember like the Zero, like Dying to Live and New Blood. I got those like on the same day. And even though Dying to Live came out before that, but I was just like saw that Chris Cole's the dude, and then those like influenced me like crazy. Yeah. But just getting the DVDs, and I remember getting Fallen Ride the Sky video, which I still watch to this day. Yeah. And just like I was in being Canada, you get some things a little bit slower than the States. Right. And I went down to the States for a weekend, and then went to like don't tell anyone it was a Zoomies. It is in the States. It is what it is.
I'm pretty sure everybody's going to know now.
But I got to ride the Sky because it wasn't available in Canada yet for some reason.
Oh, okay.
And so I like got it and just like rushed home and like put in the DVD player and just like got my mind melted.
Right.
Like, Chris Cole doing like back 180 nose grind, switch big heel outs on ledges. Like no one had ever seen that. It's like, I'll still remember that. There's something different about like popping the DVD in and something you've never seen, and which was like groundbreaking at that time. It was just like,
exactly.
That's around the time when my skating got lit on fire, when I was probably grade 11, grade 12, and all that stuff was coming out, and just seeing again what's possible, even though like Chris Cole and those dudes are way over here.
Right.
It's like you can step it up, you'll get it.
Yeah, for sure. And you're at that age where your body is kind of getting to the place where it can handle it more, right?
He was handling it more back then, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can talk about that, but we don't need to.
No, we can get to that a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a big thing, but it's important to take care of your body and stuff. I wish I would have done back then. Like everyone knows stretching and all this stuff, but like really got to be diligent about it. And it's a little bit lame. Like it sucks you have to do it, but if you want to, like I'm thinking long term right now. So the short term stuff, like just stretch for a couple minutes, 10, 15 minutes after a session. I'm still bad for that. Warm up good. Like I don't know how you can just jump to the biggest thing, but if you can, maybe you should warm up a little bit more. But just take care of your body and think long term.
I know, like, because I'm quite a bit older than you still, and it's something that I still struggle with is like taking the time to do the stretching. When I was younger, I got in the bad habit of not bothering, and it didn't it like wasn't a big deal back then, or it didn't seem to be. And so now it's like I know I should be stretching, especially after. And whatever, it's just a habit of not doing it, and I'm thinking, man, like how much better could you be if you actually took the time to take care of your body?
Well, it's funny, you mentioned that the how much better can you be thing, because I've been, I don't know if I told you the good news I got with my hips recently, but some backstory to that, I guess, is for years I've had like really bad hips, and I've been to tons of different like physio people, and I still skate like all the time, and now since like I put work into my body to like I lost a bunch of weight and eat right, and I'm like whole picture kind of focused. Skating's like a million times easier. Like it's like I get off the ground higher. Like the same effort it takes to like pop a kickflip like I used to pop it, I can now like pop it even higher with less effort, and like decide if I want to kind of do like a little toe thing or tweak my feet a little bit. So it's so much better in that regard. But for years I've just had like really, really tight hips, and they'll kind of like click on like rotation. And sometimes I'll like at the beginning of a session, like my kickflips are so hairball because like it's like trying to open a door. Like you try to open the door like full 90, but it only goes like 60. But your leg's like expecting to kick that other 30%.
Oh yeah,
and it just doesn't. So I just like sometimes just ghost them for the first couple, and then they get proper how I want to do them. But so I like got some X-rays done in the summer, and they're like, you got arthritis in your hips. This is not the good news. This is it's actually false news, which is good. But I got X-rays done, and they're like, you got arthritis in both your hips, worse in your left. I was like, that sucks, but like arthritis is kind of like, it is what it is. And I don't like that saying of it is what it is, because it usually just is what you allow. And so I'll swallow that pill of arthritis if I have to. But I met with some good doctors, and I just like kept barking up that tree of like, let's see if this hip thing is what it is. And so luckily I got connected with a good doctor that like took it seriously. And I'm just so thankful for her. And we got an MRI done on it recently. This is getting into the good news. But
We're just waiting.
Yeah,
man.
but so anticipating. No, I got the MRI done, and that was kind of crazy. Sitting in that little tube for like half an hour.
Yeah.
That was a whole experience. Just like you, and you obviously can't bring your phone in. You're just like alone with yourself for 30 minutes. That was the scariest thing I've done ever, probably. But got the MRI results like probably a week or two later, and they're like, "Okay, well, it's not arthritis. You have this. You have this thing. What's called that's a really long name, but it's basically a hip impingement."
Okay.
For anyone that may be listening that would know of it, there's always someone that knows someone that has it.
Right. Yeah.
It's more common, but when I was trying to figure out what it was, no one would like tell me anything. Like all my physiotherapists were just like, "You just got tight hips. It is what it is." And I'm like, I don't like that answer, but
No.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a cam type hip impingement where basically like my hip, the ball and socket joint like don't rotate properly. Like a normal hip should be just rotating smoothly. But one of the bones is just like a little bit too big for whatever reason.
Okay.
Who knows what? I don't really care. It is what it is now.
Yeah.
But but it's fixable, which is super cool.
Oh.
I just have to get my hip bone shaved.
That sounds painful.
So it's kind of like a pretty long recovery. It's a good like 6 to 8 months. They got to go in there like surgery. It sounds like they got to do both hips different, like at different times.
Yeah.
So it's potentially like, I don't want to do them back to back. Ideally, I could like get it done in like fall, recover all winter, spring, and then be ready to go for next summer, and then kind of repeat
Do the same thing,
for next year. But
so it'd be like 24 months total. Like it's
potentially
or not 24. Sorry. So it's like 6 to 8 each.
6 to 8 each, and then a break.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's a process for sure. And I can skate with like pretty good mobility now. Like I'm doing everything I'm doing, but I got to work for it. And yeah, so with the surgery, like they just go in, shave it, and then you're potentially it was really encouraging to hear, because they're like, you could have full hip mobility after this is done. And I might have never known full hip mobility. So I've just been like doing this skate thing with like some of my legs tied together. So
it sounds pretty invasive though. Like
pretty
the
invasive,
idea, like basically they're pulling it out of the socket, I'm assuming, to shave it, or do they do it while it's in there?
I don't know that. I don't know if they're pulling it out, but it's sounds pretty chill. Like it's invasive because they're shaving your hip bone down.
Yeah.
But it sounds like relatively chill. But the rehab's really long and all that stuff.
Okay.
But
if it comes out stronger, imagine the kind of skating you're gonna.
Yeah, well, that's been the whole point of even bringing this up is just because I've been like working my butt off for years to like get my body. Just as you get older, you got to work for it more if you want to perform at a certain level or something. And just been working my butt off for years to just like grasp at straws and just maintain that. Now that there's like an option of like, oh, you could get better. It's like, dude, sign me up. Like they were like trying to be a little bit scary and be like, oh, it's like 6 to 8 months recovery. Like, I don't know if you want to do it. I'm like, where do I sign? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's cool.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to make a comment about your, like the whole fitness side. Back when you started posting about that, you really inspired me.
Oh,
and so I actually got a gym membership and stuff, which like I was like, before I was pretty sure I was allergic to the gym.
Yeah.
Didn't want anything to do with
as
it.
most skaters are.
And like I didn't want anything to do with it. I was gonna do anything but, but you inspired me. I got a gym membership, started doing my squats and stuff, and was it last week, 2 weeks ago, when I like got my kick flips or my heel flips back after like haven't had those since before my knee surgery. So
which was like almost 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, it's over 2 years ago.
Yeah, over 2 years. Yeah.
So I was pretty hyped on that to get those back, and so yeah, I appreciated the inspiration that you were for me and in your health journey.
Yeah, thanks.
And then the other day when we met up at the edge and you were doing your stretching and stuff. And it was like, I got to be more like Johnny.
Yeah. Oh, that was like months and months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I try. I work for it. Like I said, and it's all for skating. That's the point of like everything I do. Like I'm in the gym, like honestly, a lot, like probably 5 days a week. I time everything. Like I try to time everything for like days I'll skate. I like won't do really cardio at the gym or just like take it easy on my legs. Like I made the mistake once or twice of like doing legs on a day I tried to go skate, and it was just like, you might as well just go home. Don't do that. But yeah, it's all for skating, and I think like every skater could benefit from some level of. It doesn't have to be gym. It could be whatever, but just like taking care of your body and like getting better like muscle definition is applicable for skating. It's just typically like what you said, most skaters are allergic to the gym, and there's been this idea of it being too jockey and all this stuff. But if that jockey situation helps me skate for longer, then I mean, who's got the joke at the end of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, it's all for skating. Like it's just to feel better on the board, and it's night and day, honestly, from when I started just taking care of my body physically and watching like my diet and just like how food affects your fuel source, like as a fuel source, and how it affects your life. I used to go to town on like tons of like processed foods, and like I still love corn dogs and all that stuff. But like, you focus a couple corn dogs before you go skate, and it might be tough.
Yeah,
it might be tough, but
it might be.
Yeah, just like being more in tune with your body, and then obviously just all this stuff is kind of an empty. I don't know, an empty scenario if your mental game's not in check too. So
right.
I'm huge on like just on mental health and just like thinking highly of yourself, and just being positive. And I like skating and envisioning like what you're gonna do. A lot of the times, like I'll like be filming with buddies or thinking of different tricks, and some tricks I'll think of are actually just outlandish and you can't do them.
Yeah.
Like one time I had a dream I did a nollie big spin stale fish on a quarter pipe, like over coping. It was a dream. Just you know, it was a dream. And I went to the park the next day. This was like 10 years ago or something. And I was like, because I had nollie big spins over coping. I was like, oh, I'll just like grab it stale.
Yeah.
That's like, and I could kind of envision that. And then I went to try. I'm like, that's ludicrous. Let's just stick to the no grabs on those. But a lot of the times now I can I'll think of a trick, and usually if you can think of a trick, you can do it. And before I would think of tricks and I couldn't do it because my body wasn't in the right place to do it.
Right.
But now that everything's kind of come together, things kind of come together a lot easier now.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. I keep dreaming.
It's not all there, but
I don't know how often I have the dream of the half cab flip.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It always I'm sitting at home and in my head I'm doing it, and then I get on my board and it's like nowhere near.
Yeah. And they just end up flying, or they don't pop properly.
Yeah. It's like, man, when I imagine it at home, it always works so well.
Yeah.
Now that you got your heel flips back, you'll have to do half cab heels.
Yeah,
Half
maybe.
cab heels. Some people find those a lot easier than the flip.
Yeah, maybe I should try that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd get further with that.
Yeah, maybe.
I've actually been working on the half cab flips. Like, that's a trick that kind of most people can do, but there's very few people that can do it well.
Right.
Like, I know just a couple homies that can do it well. I wouldn't classify myself as being able to do them well. Sometimes I get away with a good one because I've been working on them lately, but just like trying to get that good snap, and then you kind of do that front foot tweak down.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it, but that's a trick that, like, again, everyone could work on it because there's very few people that can do it well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do it so well when I'm
In your dreams.
In my dreams.
That's what counts. That's what counts. You got this whole pro part in your head.
Yeah.
Replay when you sleep.
And we always talk on the podcast about how skateboarding is 90% mental.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is definitely, like, I appreciate you bringing that up about the mental health stuff, because it is a huge part of skateboarding.
Huge.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we always talk about too around here is the idea that we're whole people, right? So it's like your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, like it all plays into it. And so, and there's always parts of that some of us neglect.
Oh yeah.
And for different people, it might be different parts of it, but we definitely all have parts of those pieces that we need to work on for sure.
Mm-hmm. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this whole massage gun thing. That's a game changer, isn't it?
That's hilarious.
I remember, I think the last time I skated with you at the Edge, you were like, we were in and I was skating around already, and you're like lying on the floor with your foot straight up, and you just have this gun behind your leg, just like,
yeah, it looks crazy. It feels crazier even. So
yeah.
no, everyone. My homie Brad at the Edge. I let him. We were on a trip in September, and he was using my massage gun. I also got this other thing. It's like this weird like electroshock. I don't pull this out because people think I'm really weird, but now everyone in the world knows.
Yeah, exactly.
It's this electric shock thing. You like put little pads on your muscles and it'll like give you little muscles, like those things.
I've used those. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't bust that out as much, but yeah, Brad saw the gun, used it, and he sees it and believes it, and he got himself one. So.
Never mind. Mine, I think, is delivered today at my house.
Oh, Steve got one too?
Yeah, I ordered one last
I'm going to
week.
have to get one of these.
It honestly is kind of a game changer, because I would do a lot of before trips when you could do trips, rip COVID. But, I was always do tons of physio before and after trips, and like go into it feeling good, come back, like need to get work done. But I never had anything like mid trip, and foam rollers are nice and they're really good, but it's just like, it's a little bit more of a chore. Yeah. And there's more fun in just like gunning yourself. So
I've seen videos of your son like shooting you up.
I get my son, I'll just like stretch, I'll do the little leg thing you're talking about, me laying on the ground, and then my son will be like, and then it's fun for him too. So it's it is a game changer though, because a lot of the times you'll skate and your legs are sore when you're older, and like my hamstrings get super, super tight. So that's like probably all the skaters listening can know what I'm talking about with that. But it is a game changer. Yeah. With the gun for sure. Definitely worth it.
I'm
Definitely
hoping.
worth it.
Like I said, you're my inspiration. So
working. It's working for it. But the gun will help. The gun will help in your work for it. Yeah.
Nice. Before we get too far here, we should probably talk about Elevate. I think there's a lot of people that would like to hear that story and kind of where that came about and what's going on with the shop.
Yeah, well, lots going on with the shop. We're doing a lot these days, but we definitely didn't do a ton back in the day. But yeah, Elevate Skateshop just spawned out of like I talked about at the beginning when I moved to Niverville, and I was just sort of just like slanging boards off of I was connected with a board company back then, and just like selling boards for cheap to the homies off of like a fold up table in the corner. And we're still at the same location. They're just nice enough to let me run my business out of the corner. But yeah, like it's 100% mine. I own Elevate Skateshop, and so when everyone supports me, it's 100% goes to me, and it's that's appreciated all the time. Yeah. I'm just blessed to be able to do that and to have a creative, hopefully positive outlet and an impact on people to kind of hook them up in the same way that I got hooked up when I was younger, and just like to be doing cool things, and at least we think it's cool. And
exactly.
It just spawned out of like super organic and just like slanging words off a table, and then saw that there was like something that could be done with this, and then I was like, oh, we should like figure out a name for this thing and kind of take it legit. And so we just grew slowly over the years, and I think we sold the same display cases from the old Green Apple before they renovated like I don't know how many years ago, but
Okay.
yeah, I bought the whole display cases for cheap off Mike, and yeah, just like some shelves from IKEA, and like just like slowly renovated the place, and
Cool.
and just made it our own, and so it's like distinctly our own shop location, and yeah, just growing. But even just the way that it's all been conducted over the years has changed, predominantly in the last couple of years, like really taking things seriously and trying to like do cool things. Whereas before, I was just kind of coasting with the shop, and like we're going on 8 years this spring, actually.
Oh, wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's more than I thought.
Yeah, no, we've been in it for a minute, but
Yeah.
yeah, only the last like 2-3 years have we been like really making a push to like do more stuff, and we just kind of coasting before, doing well before, but yeah, similar to like my own journey, and just like now where my motto is with the shop is I just want to do like rad things with rad people, and just like we're doing tons of collabs, and I think we did our collab with Lame Odyssey last year. Yeah, that guy's awesome, and that's super fun collab to do. And we just like doing fun stuff because life's too short to like pump out stuff you don't want to be pumping out. And so everything we pump out for like product and gear and whatever is stuff that like we would wear or we would skate.
Yeah.
They're the shapes that myself and the team all rides. They're like shirts that I would wear when I'm skating, or I would wear on a spicy date with my wife, or whatever. Like it's just like I don't want to put out anything that I wouldn't back, and yeah, and same with like graphics, like just having fun. We like to always throw little random things in boards. Like I don't know if you guys noticed with the Lame Odyssey board, he's doing like that little thing with his hand, and we just like to have fun. Like skateboarding should be fun. And yeah, just making rad things. And so once I shifted that, like we were talking about with the mental game. Yeah. Once I shifted that mental game and just started to have fun, and yeah, I was having fun with the shop before, but it was like a little bit of a chore. Like, oh, I got to put an Instagram post, or got to like do this or get this product, whatever. It's like we were doing it, but like I wasn't having as much fun with it. And then I just like kind of let go emotionally, and just had more fun with it, and stopped taking skateboarding. You can't really take too seriously. So definitely take it seriously. Like you should, when you're skateboarding, you should try. The whole thing in skateboarding of like it's not cool to try. I don't like that. Yeah. But like you should try, but don't take it too seriously. There's like a weird little middle ground somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
But once I started doing that and pumping out graphics that like got me stoked and got the rider stoked and my friends and family, yeah, I think if you like get yourself stoked, people will more times than not be more stoked than you. So you just end up winning that way.
Yeah. One of the things for me that it just like always is a surprise is the amount, like, so as somebody who's ran a shop in the past, just for the community that you're in, like coming out of that area of south of Winnipeg there, the amount of product and the amount of stuff that you sling through there is impressive. Like
thanks.
Obviously you have a really good following. You have people that really want to support it, and I find it really impressive actually that you've been able to build it to what it is today. Yeah, it's amazing.
I appreciate that. It's and now that we've it was overdue to do like an online store, and that's the world we're heading into. But we definitely like skate shops. The beauty of skate shops is that you just go in and you're just like kicking it with like real dudes, and like you can like buy a board online from whatever place, and like it might be dope, but if you go into the shop and like I'll ask you like, okay, weird question, how big are your feet? Because like maybe you don't want to ride a massive board, or maybe you want to buy or ride a smaller or whatever, but like we can like help you get like probably what you want.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's just like more real that way. And then get connected to like so many people that I'm like pretty good friends with now have just gotten to know me from like skating a park, and then like, oh, this is my shop. Hey, what's up? And then they'll come out and you don't really know them. And now you're like, that's crazy that I didn't really know you at one time, but
yeah.
yeah, like a good friend. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the questions I have for you is one of the issues that I had when I ran the shop was because like the shop was, for me, it was just all about supporting the local skate community. And so I couldn't make any money.
Yeah.
Like I loved doing it. It was a blast. We had a good scene happening then. But yeah, just how do you balance the supporting the scene with actually like paying the bills?
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting one. It's a weird thing to say, and I don't understand it, because I was always that kid that like, oh, I can get 2 shop decks for the price of that pro deck. Like, let's go for the 2 shop decks.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. And I was like working at my local shop, being young, and just like, don't pay me in dollars, just pay me in like product. Like, I just need skate stuff. But nowadays, like, there are people that got the money for it. And yeah, I'm seeing that. Like, I just announced to the shop yesterday, we're picking up like New Balance for the spring. And New Balance seems to be doing some like rad things for skating. Yeah, and their shoes are like a little bit pricier. Like the Foys are a big one that like a lot of kids are skating.
yeah.
The Jamie Foy shoe.
Yeah.
That one's going for like, I think, $140.
It's getting up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there. Like we have the luxury that we can sell ours for like a touch cheaper, so ours might be like $10-15 cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But I had like multiple kids this last summer that were like, "Oh, you guys don't carry New Balance, so I'm gonna go and get the Foy." And like, if you could get it, I'd pay for it.
Yeah.
And like, people do got the money. If it's like the right product, they got the money. Yeah.
So that leads me to another question. Then is,
if that answers your question,
it does
sort of.
Yeah, it does.
The customers, like, they exist, that they'll pay that top dollar, and that's evident with like, you see with like all the in brands like Supreme and all that stuff is like, you slap a Supreme logo on it and like $500 is like on credit. Let's go.
Yeah.
So they exist, but then you also got like boards like Warp, and if like a homie's like hurting and they don't care about Warp board, like, we'll get you Warp board at cost, or like so you have to operate in the middle ground, because you have to be real enough that like then just be like real with the kids. Like if someone's like hurting for board or shoes, and like I've had a bunch of homies come in, and if anyone's ever hurting for shoes, like, if you're not picky, like, we can get you a pair of shoes for cheaper. Yeah,
for sure.
You just can't get that Foy shoe.
Yeah. Back when I had the shop, it was, especially a small shop, like you only want to run a certain number of brands, right? Because you just can't do a lot of numbers across a lot of different brands. And so then you got like a couple dudes that are wanting this brand, and then these other dudes want this brand, and it was a real challenge to like try and please everybody to get the brands they wanted without like extending yourself too far as a little shop.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because there's literally a million brands you could carry, and there's not a ton of distinction between them all. Like, so everything's kind of the same, more or less, different tweaks and different tech and shapes and all that stuff. But yeah, you can't please them all. And that was part of the thing that changed too. When with the shop, like, I just wanted to please, like, just bring in the brands that like stoke me and stoke the riders, and if like there's enough requests from them and they're like a brand that we like, that I back what they're doing, then we can bring it in. But like, there's only so much shelf space, and there's only so much like resources to bring in everything. Exactly. And there's so much rad stuff happening. Like, there's tons of brands that I would love to carry, but like, there's also other brands that are rad, and we are carrying them, and like, everyone's always doing something. So
exactly.
There's no shortage.
It's hard to like, every time somebody comes out with a crazy video part, to right away is now jump on all those brands, right?
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
As long as you have the foy shoes, though, you're fine, right?
We should be okay. This ring, we should be okay.
What is the craziest request you've had?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I have to say it, but like it's obviously we didn't bring him in, but I've had there was one kid that was like, yeah, you guys got to bring in like Revive skateboards, like from, if you guys know Revive, like from the YouTube thing, like.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, blessing and curse, you never know. But they're this like YouTube like skate brand, like core skaters kind of. It's like kind of lame to core skaters.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't know, weird skate thing. We don't have to talk about it too much. But for the people that know, they'll think it's funny. But yeah, he asked us to bring in this brand, and I was like, yeah, no, not out of any hard feelings because I won't go there. But
right,
there's just so many brands to carry.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And there's so many cool things going on, and we're trying to do a lot of stuff ourselves, and because there's a little bit more of a margin to be made with doing your own stuff, and so you see a lot of shops and brands doing that, which is sick, because then it's not like, oh, sick, I get to make more money, because all the money we make just ends up going back into it. And
that's right.
And I'm certainly not living high on the hog doing skate shop stuff, because it doesn't pay the bills for really anyone doing skate shops. It's all just it's all for the love. That's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, definitely. That nobody here is questioning that for sure. We know what the numbers look like. The craziest one that I had when I had the shop was some kid had I think it was on like maybe Skate or Skate 2. He had this custom setup that he had like made on his game that he plays with. And so he came into the shop and was like, I want this board, like this graphic with these trucks and these wheels, everything. And I was just like, dude, like.
Did you get a blank check for that?
That graphic is like I can't order that graphic anymore. It's like a couple years old. Like they're not making that graphic anymore. And he was so choked that he couldn't get the exact board that he was skating on his video game.
There's like 75 other boards in the game. Just pick them. Just pick like the basic like Baker logo.
Yeah, the red Baker logo.
I always enjoy watching, and we've been also beneficiaries of your supporting the skateboard scene. You help us out, give us a good deal on products so that we can have some stuff here for the kids. And we appreciate it. We appreciate what you're doing, and definitely want to see you do well with the Elevate, and definitely would tell our listeners to go and check you out online and in store for sure.
In store, online, Instagram. Our site's like pretty legit. I somehow managed to build that myself.
Yeah, I've been on it a few times, and it's it's awesome. I'm not a very techie dude at all, like with anything computer stuff, and I like just chilled it, locked myself in my house for like 2 weeks and just like grinded out a website and learned how to do that. And some of the things like weren't going the way I wanted to, and I had to learn how to like, not going to say coding because that's like aggressive stuff, but I learned how to like go back into it and like enter in a bunch of random like letters and numbers, and then like, and then like you enter in like one wrong thing and your site crashes, and like, and then you have to redo it. And it was like pretty intimidating, and I was definitely like stressing out for like a good couple days. But once you just like, you have to lock yourself in your house to do it, because it's, if I would have done it like in the summer when I'm trying to skate, is I would just do like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, you'd get nowhere. So I just like did the website, and it turned out like, makes it look like I kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah, for sure it does. And have you been getting lots of traffic?
It's been good. Yeah, shipping like kind of all over Canada, and with the Lamo deck, we shipped like, I think we shipped to New York and LA on either side.
Oh wow!
It got out a bit, which was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do people find that? I wonder.
That was back then. We didn't even have a website. That was just like off of Instagram and our Instagram, and I was just like contacting them through DMs. Now it's super easy with the site. Like if anyone around like local delivery and all that stuff, or just like if we have to ship to you, it's like we go through Shopify for our online store.
right.
So they handle a lot of the back stuff, which is better than me doing because I don't know what I'm doing with all that stuff, but it's super easy now.
And you get better shipping rates then too.
Little bit better shipping rates. Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. That definitely made it a lot easier, and we switched our in-store stuff, so we're all like through the same system now, and everything's a lot more streamlined. So
yeah,
cool,
awesome.
And that's one other area that you inspired Steve. I think it was like a week after that we got a website.
No, it's not that hard. If people I should have done it a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, ours isn't really live yet.
Yeah.
It's not live yet?
Well, it's out there, but it's...
There we go.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
We're out.
Well, it's not now.
Yeah, I still have... I didn't lock myself up for 2 weeks, so I still have lots of issues I got to work through on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just half an hour here and here.
Yeah. So, what else is in the works for you?
Yeah, we got quite a bit. We actually just shuffled out... we were going to do a collab with a local artist on just like a clothing kind of like hoodie tee run.
Yeah.
He did up like this super rad, like I've kind of teased it a bit on Instagram, but it's like this dope like wolf graphic, like melting. He's like a like abstract. Does a lot of painting. Like he's like like an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was very interesting trying to translate that from like physical to digital, but we got a good situation, and we're doing like a multicolor print. But we just kind of got a lot going on, and I'm trying not to like, you don't just want to like bang people over the head with product all the time.
Right.
So trying to like space things out properly, and like as much as people don't want to be seeing like, here's this Elevate thing, just eat, and on to the next thing. I don't want to do that either, because I also have other things I want to do too.
Right. Yeah.
So we're all busy and we all want to do fun stuff, but we actually shoveled that, so that's going to go down in probably May or something. Because then we got our new shop decks coming out at the end of this month, early next month. New shop decks. Those are going to be sick. Slightly different shape, should be better this time around, which is sick.
Interesting.
Yeah. We tried out experimental shape in the fall, and we liked it even better than our last one. And I love our last boards, and everyone that skates them, like they got a little bit of an aggressive shape, not as aggressive as some other boards might be, but they're so sick. They're kind of like a revised like deluxe anti-hero shape. They're super poppy.
Nice.
Like they're great. But got those coming out, and then we'll do that other collab, and then super on the DL, probably only like my close homies, but I'll give an exclusive here. I wasn't planning on this, but then we got another. Nice. Yeah, we got another shop deck coming out in the summer.
Okay.
I might have shown you guys the graphics actually. I don't know.
Like a long time ago.
Yeah. We're doing a collab with this tattoo artist, homie of mine in the city. His name's Steve Bychek.
Okay.
And that one's DL. Like I probably won't even post even a tease about it till like May or something. But that'll come out in July.
Nice.
And that's like this super sick, tattoo, like traditional style graphic, and
nice
on like a slight like off-white deck, and that's like a wall banger board for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. We'll have to get you guys one to put up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's it's
as you can see, we need to do some decorating in here.
Yeah.
We've started, but
we
it's looking good.
Put this up today.
Oh, you guys got that old Vision deck right there.
Yeah. The old Gator board. Yeah, this one here is a $10 garage sale board.
Dude, that's a find right there.
Yeah.
That's like it officially. We got a couple other like possible collabs we might be doing. I just like collabs because like you're just getting more minds on the project. You're just gonna make fun stuff happen.
Yeah, exactly. I always like it when you do the collabs because, well, for one, it maybe gives somebody some recognition that they wouldn't get otherwise, and it's all about supporting each other, supporting the scene
Yeah.
Right. Like it's just, it's a community, and the more we do together, the more awesome it is.
Exactly. It's very much like that graphic I was talking about coming out in the summer is it's a tradition, like a traditional tattoo style graphic.
Yeah.
But without giving away too much of it. Like, we always got to throw our grain logo in it somewhere. So it's got a very big grain in it. And so if you look at the graphic, you would see that it's very much Elevate, but also very much this artist.
Yeah.
And so it's clearly like a collab. It's not just like someone does something and slaps our name on it. Or like even collabing with Lamo was like, we would just message back and forth and chat, and like I was like, oh, could you just like slap our little like Elevate Shorties rip-off logo on a tee, or like just get his like brain being zapped out, or like like we were just doing so many funny things. We thought about putting like little aliens waving in the UFO, and like we're just having fun collabing, but that's what it's all about, is just having fun, and
for sure,
and just like bringing rad stuff into this world, and like whether it be physical like that or just mental and just vibes, and like just encouraging people to do rad things is a thing we need more of. So it's sick that I have an outlet to do it with the shop, and that's what I try to keep doing with it.
We love following what you're doing, and hoping that just more good things will come out of there. Yeah. And who knows like what it'll grow into. Like there's tons of possibilities for it, and there's tons of like now in this crazy world, like there's tons of ways to do things. Like it's very digital, so who knows? The world is our oyster, but we're stoked to be here. Awesome. Where can people find you online? Find us on Instagram at Elevate Skateshop, and online at elevateskate.ca. Yeah, elevateskate.ca, just like that, I think. Perfect. Sweet. Yeah, so check them out. He's got a great site going. He's got awesome product, and he supports the scene, which we love. And want to see more of that. Sure. Awesome. Thanks for coming out, John.
Yeah,
awesome. Thanks for having me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Done deal.
That's it.
I was waiting for his. How do you usually end? All right. Bye.
Okay. See ya.
Yeah.
Okay. See ya.
Okay. See ya.